Welcome, friends, and happy Christmas Eve again to you all. As the world quiets and the stars shine their light upon the earth this evening, just as they did over 2,000 years ago on the night of Jesus' birth, let us reflect on the transformative spirit of Christmas. What better story to guide us than the Charles Dickens novel, A Christmas Carol, a timeless tale of the spirit of Christmas and the love that lives within each of us, even when it's sometimes very hard to see. You may not be aware of this, at least I know I wasn't. That Charles Dickens was, at least for part of his life, a Unitarian Universalist. And for the rest of his life, for other parts of his life, he did still remain connected to Unitarian Universalist and their principles. He joined the Unitarian Chapel in London. Let's see, when was that? And when he did so, he believed, and this was his driving interest, that Unitarians practiced charity and tolerance, he said, while others merely preached it. It's said that he wrote A Christmas Carol during this time amid England's economic upheaval. It was the 1850s. And poverty was a personal concern for Dickens, for his father was imprisoned for debts, and he has, as a child, had to work to pay off his father's debts. When he finally did give his first public reading of A Christmas Carol in 1853, he demanded that the theater reserve free seats for the working poor, so to ensure that they could attend as well. So this evening, while we gather by candlelight, let's explore the lessons offered by the three spirits of Ebenezer Scrooge. Each spirit that visited offered a gift, an opportunity to see things differently, and maybe through that, becoming different. The story begins on a cold Christmas Eve. Most of you know it. Scrooge is sitting in his office counting his stacks of gold coins, and his nephew barges in and calls out to him, Uncle, won't you join us for Christmas dinner tomorrow night? And what did Scrooge respond? Anybody know? Bah, humbug, which was his favorite thing to say. He said it to all the people that reached out to him and offered him good wishes that Christmas Eve, including a boy caroler, Bob Cratchit, and other community leaders looking to help collect money for charity. Now, later that night, well, it became clear, and we all know this part of the story, who he was. It was clarified in the beginning of the film and the book that he was a very isolated, wealthy, but stingy and angry man. So the night went on, and Scrooge was visited by the spirit of his business partner, Jacob Marley, not Bob Marley, who had died 7 years before. And when Marley arrived, he was dragging heavy chains that signified the miserly meanness and greed that he had carried through his lifetime. And he was now to carry these chains through his afterlife. And he came to warn Scrooge that his destiny would be the same, and that there would be three spirits that would visit him at 1 a.m. each of the next following nights. And he disappeared. The first spirit of Christmas passed. So as the church bells struck 1 a.m. the next day, or later that night, I guess, the spirit of Christmas past arrived to take Scrooge on a journey. This journey was through his memories, the memories he tried to bury, They visited an old schoolhouse where Scrooge saw himself as a young boy left there alone rather than brought home for Christmas holiday, and he saw his loneliness. He saw himself reunited by his beloved sister long gone. He saw the woman that he did love ending their relationship, saying to him that another idol has taken her place. It's the love of money. Scrooge begged to please stop, that he could not hear it anymore. The spirit of Christmas past forced Scrooge to confront the stories that he had buried. Scrooge's scars had covered his heart so much that they created an illusion of what was valuable for him in life: money. Only when he was able to look again and remember what it felt like to love and to feel and know real connection was he able to reclaim the parts of himself that he had lost. And he was capable of just that, reclaiming these parts, reawakening the parts of himself that had been asleep. Then the second spirit came, the spirit of Christmas present. When the church bells chimed outside his window the next night, it was this spirit of Christmas present transported him to the home of Bob Cratchit, who worked for Scrooge and was treated very poorly and paid a very small amount of money. But Cratchit's family, though they had very little, enjoyed their Christmas dinner, and despite their poverty, they were happy. They were connected through their love and gratitude for each other. We all know the famous words of Tiny Tim, "God bless us, everyone." He symbolized hope and resilience, and he showed in his with his disability and his positivity. He shifted something in witnessing this for Scrooge. When Scrooge saw this and watched the family, he asked the ghost of Christmas present, would Tiny Tim survive? And the ghost said, unless things changed, he would not. He also visited his family and saw them having a party and saw them enjoying Christmas and singing and dancing. And it reminded Scrooge pretty much that there is beauty in the here and now, no matter how imperfect it may seem. And finally, the spirit of Christmas yet to come came to visit Scrooge. And he showed him a haunting vision of the future. And he saw the people that had known him pretty much dismiss him upon his death without caring. He really saw that his life left no impact or value on anyone. This spirit taught Scrooge that it was our choices that shaped the world of tomorrow. And it empowered him to realize that he could have some impact on the world in ways that he hadn't realized. And as we all know, as the story came to a close, he was awakened as a person transformed. Love and joy became just bursting out of his heart. His consciousness completely changed, and his desire to just give freely took over. So, as I bring these thoughts to a close, I wanted to take a moment to reflect on the journey of Ebenezer Scrooge, a journey not just of time and memory, but into the heart of what it means to be human. Scrooge's story reminds us that transformation is always available, no matter how stuck or blinded we may feel in our habits, or how distant we may seem from love or joy. The spirit of transformation calls us, as it did call Scrooge, to let go of fear and judgment and isolation, and to embrace connection and compassion and generosity in whatever ways we can do that. This story invites us to awaken to the miracles of each moment and to recognize the power that we have to heal and renew the world around us. You know, especially at Christmas time, the birth of Jesus and this time of birth and rebirth and renew with the new year, that there are always opportunities for rebirth. No? There's always opportunities to do things differently, to try a different way, to reframe or rethink how we are going about things in our life. It's a divine opportunity to reconnect to what is sacred to us, and to the gift, the true gift of, no matter what our circumstances are, the gift of being alive. So may our candles tonight symbolize our openness to that spirit of transformation. And may they remind us that change begins with us, with the courage to face our past, the humility to learn in the present, and the resolve to move forward. May we, like Scrooge, wake up each morning with the promise to honor the spirit of every day of our lives. May it be so. And Merry Christmas. If you like this video, please like us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click on the bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. Thank you.